I'm looking crazy. I like just woke up honestly, and I had to go run an errand, and it was so hot outside. I'm still wet from outside. It's just not a game. New Orleans, why? I feel like it's like 100 degrees outside, quite honestly. And I'm not taking my ass outside again today. I really don't see it. I really don't see it. Wow, that was kind of woo. But I was inspired to talk about some things because, girl, what's the tea? What's happening? Too much. I was inspired to talk about some things because I feel like there's definitely a gap, and there's some shit that I wanted to talk about like when I got back to New Orleans and all the fuckery and the shade. Okay, so this is just me going in. Before I even left Denver, I was reaching out to a bunch of folks because Denver, it was just like a really traumatic experience for me in parts. There were times where I was like feeling like I don't think I would want to be anywhere else, you know what I mean? But there were definitely points where I felt like I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, it's time to go, you know? And so, bitch, I found me a plane ticket for like $72 one way. And I was like, all right, queen, we about to catch this motherfucking flight. Caught the plane, and here's the shade of it all. Before I left Denver, I told you I was reaching out to folks. And a couple of folks I reached out to, like, 2 people were like, oh, I got you, girl. Girl, if you come back to New Orleans, like, you could stay with me for, like, 2 months. Drones, bitch. That shit is real. They be flying them out here and shit. This shit is creepy. Yikes. Fuck. Lost my train of thought. I'm like, who y'all looking for? Shit. Because they be pulling them out. They be looking for everybody. Anyways, so I had 2 friends. One of them, seemingly 2 friends, right? One friend was like, girl, you could stay with me. It ain't no thing. I got you. I was like, I just need a month. I was like, I just need 1 month. And I'm still going to give you some coins, you know, because I'm a hustler. I was like, I'm going to find some way to give you some coins. I'm going to find some way to, you know, do something for you so that you don't feel like I'm taking advantage. And homie was like, girl, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. Come on down, buy your ticket. I got you. I'm going to hold you down. I'm like, Lord. Thank y'all. And so, something about the vibe, I don't know what it was, but me and that person wasn't really corresponding as much as I would have liked to before moving into their space. And so I just started reaching out to other folks because I was like, you know what, it doesn't hurt to have a plan B, you feel me? So sure enough, the last week I'm in Denver, I'm trying to set shit up and everything still seems cool de la, but like literally the day I arrived into New Orleans, my plan B hooked me up with a ride, child. And so plan A was tripping. I'm gonna call plan A. I'm like, excuse me, hello friend. I'm like, how are you? And they were just, their energy on the phone, it was just wild. It was like, they just was like really closed off emotionally. They were just feeling some type of way. And I found out later that they had a friend pass, and that's why they were feeling all, you know, fucked up. But at the same time, it was like, I'm your friend, and I'm houseless now. So I don't know what to say. Like, I'm sorry for your loss. I didn't even know that there was a loss at the time. It was just a situation where it was like, I'm fucked up. I'm not feeling right. All this shit. And I'm like, okay, word. Because I don't want nobody to feel fucked up in their space and then have another person come up in their space. It just didn't seem like the right thing to do. But at the same time, I was still mad. You feel me? I was still feeling ways. Because it's like, my plan A was like a secured month. My plan B was like, I can stay for as long as I want, but I knew that the person was a little bit more like flighty and they were not going to be around, and I just wanted it to be a situation where I wasn't going to feel weird as fuck. Plus, the plan B had other people living in their house, so it was like already a situation where it wasn't going to be just me and another person. It was going to be me, another person, their partner, and then 2 other people who were partnered in the other part of the house. So I was just trying to be mindful about my own self and about what kind of energies I wanted to be around when I got back. And so I was thankful for sure for my plan B coming through. But my plan A was like, it was picked for a reason. Now, plan B, we over here like trying to make it, trying to survive. And when I go into their space, the first day I'm there, it's just all types of fuckery. It's all types of foolishness. So the first day, I get dropped off or whatever, and me and my homie were kicking it. You know, they're telling me I could crash at their house. They said that they don't need no money from me or nothing. I'm like, girl, I'm not gonna have you out here with no coins. I'm not about to have you out here with no coins. And I was on my grizzly, okay? My first week back, I got a job, bitch. I got a job for sure. And I was hooking it up. But that whole month was the month before the lease of the original people that lived in that house. So my homie at the time moved in with some people that already had a lease and was waiting to sign a new lease when those folks moved out. But I'm gonna tell you, when I first moved into that space, it seemed like niggas was not really, like, niggas was at odds, you know what I mean? And I kind of felt awkward about it, because it's like, I felt like, damn, what is it me? Is it because I'm here that folks can't really be cool no more? But I find out later, obviously, that there was some other beefs going on, financial shit, politics shit, that was happening in this space that really had nothing to do with me. But obviously, like, I'm sitting there empathic as fuck, just like, okay, I'm like, girl, you sure your people is good? You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I don't think they really fuck with me. And the whole time she's just like, girl, like, you're tripping, you know what I mean? Like, they like you, you're fine. But I was not catching that you're fine vibe, you know what I mean? Like, I was feeling like these niggas wasn't really here for me. But that was fine, because I spent most of my time at work or, you know, running errands, trying to hustle with the car, you feel me? And I got back at the end of November, you feel me? And I'm working by December. On my birthday, a bunch of dumb shit pops off with me and my homie. And I'm feeling kind of fucked up about it, because it's like I had made birthday plans that didn't involve my homie that I was staying with, because we had like some weirdness going on. They actually were like kind of ditching me a lot for their new homie that they were dating. So I was kind of just like, you know what, like, no. And plus, like, at midnight when it turned into my birthday, I was chilling with my homie that I was living with. But they decided to dip out on me on my birthday with this dude, and I was like, okay, bitch, like, for part 2 of my birthday, like, I'm not gonna kick it with you, because, like, you clearly just used me to get a ride over here so that you could go meet up with somebody else. Not to mention the fact that a couple times my keys would be missing, and my homie has taken my car, didn't put no gas in that bitch, left a bunch of drug paraphernalia up in the fucking car, and it was kind of just like, girl, like, this is a shared vehicle. Like, me and my homie Jody was sharing a car at the time, and it was kind of just like, I'm using the car a lot because I have a job I need to get to at a certain time and leave at a certain time, and I was trying to be super strategic and still trying to help out my homie, obviously, because they didn't have no car. They was walking, Fred Flintstone shit. And I was like, you know what, I got you. And I told them many times, I was like, yo, if you need a ride here, let me know, because I was trying to be super accommodating. But I found myself in a space where I found myself a lot of times, like, people helping me out, and I'd be doing too much. And it's not that I'm, like, a greedy-ass person. I'm not trying to do too much for anybody, but it's like, I just do the most, and then I be the one that gets fucked up. So I'm doing the most, I'm reaching out, I'm trying to, you know, use my resources to help my friend. I'm also sharing my resource with another friend, which is my car, and I'm working at this job, not full-time. I probably was getting like 25 hours a week maybe. So I was making enough to, like, you know, hit folks off, but I wasn't really making enough to save. And so, as I was saying, homies was trying to, you know, get a new lease. And what ended up happening was my friend, since they had put no real time and effort into saving any money, coordinating with their partner, the check does not go through. It bounces, bitch. The night before they were doing all this shit, I went to the house, and my homie's boyfriend was sleeping in the bed, and I've shared a bed with this person before, and I just wasn't feeling it that night. I was like, I do not want to sleep next to nobody. So I drove my black ass back to Mid-City, and I was like, Jody, can I please crash here? Like, can I sleep on the couch? Like, is that chill? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. So the next day, you know what I mean, I turn on my phone, and I have one voicemail from my homie telling me that they lost the house, and that all of my things are at this dude's house who I wasn't really fucking with and she wasn't really fucking with. Like, she really wasn't fucking with this person. So I didn't really understand why my shit was at some random nigga's house, or why this bitch is just getting to me now. I was feeling all types of ways. So I finally am able to track this bitch down and figure out where my shit is, you know what I mean? And I have to go pick her up to bring her back to this nigga house, because she had this nigga pick her up, bring her shit to his house, bring my shit to his house, and then drop her off way the fuck at her sister's house. And so when we all get back together, when me and her get back together, I'm obviously upset, but at the same time, I'm trying to be like, yo, we both are houseless, even though, if I'm being real, this bitch had mad resources in the city, had another house she could live at, rent-free bitch, but I realized that's not where the fuck she was trying to be, so I was trying to hold as much space as I could. I was still trying to use the car to, like, help this bitch out, and, it was a situation where I went to go get my stuff for her, and she's over here talking about she don't want to grab none of her stuff because she don't know where to put it. She don't want to take it to her mama house. She don't want to put it in the car. And I was like, look, I would rather have you store your shit in the trunk than have your shit at somebody's house that you don't fuck with. That's terrible. And so she starts crying and shit, and I'm like, that's real. I'm like, look, we gonna go get your shit. We went right back in that house. Like, I'm telling you, we went in that house, got my shit, and then we went right back in and got her shit, because she was just like, I don't want to leave my shit here. I'm like, bitch, of course not. You know what I mean? No one does. So, and the tea on this nigga that we don't fuck with. From first meeting, this person seemed hella cool, but it's something about a white passing person that stays trying to talk about, like, POC affiliated ass shit, and stay reaching, talk about they mama is whatever the fuck, but assimilated into whiteness, and they trying to fucking pick up the pieces and shit. Girl, you know what? It's something about folks like that who, like, exploit black women that just make me fucking sick. Because it's like, they be so fake down. They be so fake down. They be so fake, like, ready to roll, ready to directly act. They be so fake, ready to fucking pop off. But the reality is, like, this person was just, like, really fake as fuck, but also very exploitative, especially to, like, black folks that I know, especially black trans folks that I know. So it was just a situation where I was like, let's get your shit. So we get this bitch's shit, and, like, right then and there, I'm like, Jody, like, I need a place to live. Like, y'all just got a room opening up. And Jody was like, bitch, we was about to ask you if you needed a place. Like, we got you. Like, and my homies were, you know, they were just super understanding of the fact that, like, the amount of money I was making was not going to cover this rent for this high-ass house. But they were like, we're willing to, like, you know, figure it out with you. We're willing to put in a little bit more because we can afford to and shit like that. And I was like, thank you. I was like, this is what community looks like. It looks like people being like, you know what? You need a safe space. We can accommodate you by affording to pay this much so you can pay this much. You know what I mean? And all these ways that, like, I'm being able to reciprocate, because at the time I was working at a pizza place. I was over here hooking it up with the fresh vegetables and the fresh meats, bitch. I was just hooking it all up. And so it really got to a situation where homie, who was just, like, at this point, just kicking it hella hard with the nigga she was fucking with the whole time that I was sleeping at her house, she just started, like, disappearing, not really popping up, and then was, like, going hard using niggas for rides. And I was kind of feeling some type of way, because it's like, after, like, the house was lost, and I don't feel like the house was lost. I feel like she didn't really have any kind of intention of having that space. I think she didn't want to live with her partner, which was revealed to me much later. And I think that it was a situation where she realized that, like, if her and her partner lived in that space, it would be just really tumultuous. Like, they would just have, like, a really fucked up time. And I think that's why she kind of wasn't going so hard for it. I think that's why she kind of just was like, whatever. But in the remaining weeks of me and her's friendship, it just seemed like she was just checking out of life. Like, it just seemed like she was just not really trying to be a part of the real world, and trying to take care of herself. And it's one of those things where it's like, every time I lose my job, or I don't have a job, or I'm not making money, or I start to feel super broke, it's a depression that, like, in ways enables me from trying to even try to fix that situation, rectify that situation, find a solution. it's just something that kind of like paralyzes me in the sadness, and I feel like in ways that's what this person was trying to communicate to me. But at the time, I had been staying with them. I had been staying with other folks. I had been spending nights in not random places, but just in spaces I didn't necessarily want to, because them offering me a place to stay wasn't really concrete. They didn't really have a place. They were paying rent to some people who had a lease, whose lease was about to run up, and they really weren't putting in the time to kind of keep that space for themselves. And it was unfortunate, but at the same time, you know, it's not like nobody ran away from them when that happened. Folks, like, if anything, I was harder, like, trying to, like, be, you know, letting them know, you know, like, you could get a little part-time, you know what I mean, like, so that you could get a place for yourself, or at least run a bedroom so that you don't have to rely on sleeping in spaces with, like, partners, lovers, shit like that, so you don't have to rely on that. Because I know for myself, that can be something that's really fucking traumatic. I think, like, it's a situation where, like, if you're poly and you're dating and, you know, you're exploring lovers outside of your partner, your primary, you have a primary, it can be really hard to live with a person that, you know, perhaps you feel like, I don't even know, I'm just saying it's hard to live with partners. Like, I think that's, like, what I'm trying to say. That's the gist of it. It's hard to live with your partner, but I think especially if your partner is a jealous person and y'all are poly, because I feel like there were ways in which, like, jealousy was manifesting sometimes in certain spaces, and it was awkward as fuck, because I was like, damn, like, people be saying they're poly, but they really fucked up. You know what I mean? It's a difference between poly and fucked up. But I think truly what it was is she did not want to be with her partner anymore, and she was hoping that, you know, I think she was hoping and doing some sort of magic so that it wouldn't work out, and I ended up being in a space that was really good for me, really healing. I had my own space, and I was honestly able to kind of do more. I was able to have people over. I was able to host, which I really love to do. I was able to have dinner parties. That shit I like. So it was, like, really hard to do that shit in that other house, because it's like I'm already sharing space with somebody who's sharing space with somebody. So it just seemed like ridiculous for me to be trying to bring anybody over to that space, friend or not. So I really didn't entertain too much over there. But when I moved into my new space, me and that person, we kind of had to have a sit down at a coffee shop, and we had another friend mediate, because I was just so angry, and I was like, please, like, call me out if I'm going too hard, like, please let me know if I'm fucked up, or if I'm, like, not being receptive or reflective, because I didn't want her to feel like it was all down to her. I think in ways I kind of shut down too, because it seemed like she was always ghosting it, and I was like, I don't really want to be the one to be like, yo, so what's going on with this house? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on with this rent? Even though it concerned me, it felt like that, the energy felt like, don't ask me shit. Like, don't ask me about none of this shit. Like, I'm just doing me. And I've been in that space before where, like, you don't want nobody to ask you about shit, because you know in ways what you're doing is fucked up, but it's fucked up to a point where you understand it, it's okay. And you've made peace with that, it's fucked up. And, you know, that's just the vibe I was getting. But when we had this conversation at the coffee shop, I just felt like there was so much manipulation going on, where, like, she was trying to make me feel bad for saying how I was feeling, because she was just trying to, like, let me know about her mental health, and let me know about her perhaps going to an institution. And I feel like she was trying to, like, scare me into, like, not, like, just giving her the space that I was trying to give her, because at that point, you know, I was just like, yo, like, I don't think you're a bad person, and I don't think, you know, anything's wrong with you. I just think I need space from you, because I feel like I've been going hard. And again, keys getting taken, just, you know, asking to borrow money after I'm no longer living with them, like, trying to, like, just bum everything. And it was like, yo, like, I have a real, like, rent to pay right now. I cannot afford that. And it was kind of like, just more and more, just seeing it as taking advantage. Like, on some shit where it's like, bitch will call me and be like, what are you doing? Do you want to hang out? And it would be like, bitch just wanted to ride over the bridge. Like, bitch didn't even want to really kick it. Bitch was trying to get me to drop her off at some location, have me kick it till somebody pops up. Or it would be the gag. Somebody would be there already waiting for this bitch, and it was obvious they had already previously arranged a sort of meeting. So it was really awkward for me, because it's like, all right, you obviously used me for a ride. You could have just said that shit. I really don't feel like I had to be here, you know, with this like with this drink, just kicking it by myself. Like, what the fuck? So when I finally had that meeting with her and I had my friend be a mediator and a facilitator and all these things, it just kind of made me feel bad as fuck. Like, honestly, the manipulation tactics worked, and I still was trying to kick it with her, and that's when my birthday came into play. And I felt like she was doing some shit where she was trying to, like, kick it with me after ditching me, and after I had told her, like, back, and was just on some, like, really fugazi-ass shit. Like, just a bunch. Like, I had made plans to kick it with this dude, and she was like, this is after we are no longer living together. She's just acting like she is out here on the streets. And keep in mind, she has a place to live. She has a partner that lives somewhere that, like, she can stay. She has multiple people that are steady being like, come sleep on my couch, come sleep over here. So it's not like she didn't have the resources, but she was on some shit, I feel like, where she was trying to make herself a part of my birthday plans, despite the fact that I had been like, all right, like, live your life. You know what I mean? She sent me a text. Text ain't that fucking complicated. It ain't that fucking deep. If I didn't respond to your text, your sorries or whatever the fuck, I don't give a fuck right now. You're invisible to me. But when I do give a fuck, I'll let you know. And so I was trying to have a blessed day on my birthday. I was trying not to get into no negativity. So I was calling dude and I was like, look, I was like, meet me here at this hour. Because I was like, I'm going to go get me a birthday drink with this little dude. And that's what's going to be. And so I find out, like, when niggas is finally on the way that, like, she's with him. And they're on their way over, and they're walking because this bitch don't got a bike, he got a bike, and I'm sitting here like, but I have a car. Why didn't y'all just ask me to get a ride? And then, like, all this other shit comes out. This dude is a scumbag. Like, she is over here, like, trying to meet up with me, and I was like, you know what? Cancel that. Like, y'all can kick it together. Peace. Deuces. And on my birthday, I was just mad. I was drunk and mad. I was like, yo, like, it's my fucking birthday. You know what I mean? It was my fucking birthday. And I just felt like people were just not feeling me. Like, not even people, just like these two folks that I thought was like all fucking month talking about my birthday about to be bomb. But it's like they just let the bomb explode on my fucking birthday because I was irked as fuck. End up totaling our car on our way to fucking brunch. Me and Jody, like, which was really shitty because it was like this one of the scariest moments. Like, nobody was in danger, but it was like, this is our resource, like our car, and like that was just really traumatic for us to lose the car because like that was the fucking jam. That was the wave. Let me tell you, that little Volkswagen. Let me tell you, we had a I think I talked about this in another video. A friend of ours, this white passing Arab person. They hooked it up. They were like, listen, my car is fucked up. I can't really ride this car. We had that car fixed for $20 and 2 blunts, bitch. We were like, yo, somebody know about mechanical shit? All right, so we was out here. We was just, that car was getting everybody through. That car took Jody to motherfucking, I want to say fucking Virginia, bitch. Actually, I want to say North Carolina, if I'm being honest. I want to say North Carolina. That car took niggas to North Carolina. It's a miracle. But anyways, so cars wrecked, still trying to work. That whole situation was wild. Like, literally every day I was late for work because I would be trying to get a cab. I would try to be getting, I tried to set up a situation with this other nigga. I was like, look, I'll try to do some weed for rides. And this nigga was like, word. But it was a situation where niggas didn't care about taking niggas to work on time, but niggas cared about getting that weed on time. So it was a situation where I had to cut that off because I was like, you know what? I was like, this is the year of no fucks. It's like, if you don't give a fuck about me, bitch, I can't find none for you. I'm to cut you off. And, you know, it's like when I did that, other folks wanted to be shady, mad, because I'm just not really about the back and forth. It's like I'm willing to have a conversation with you with another person present so I don't get too out of pocket. Because I know myself, like, if I start, like, I don't know, if I don't know there's going to be a meeting, I'd be on some defense mechanism. I'd be like, I'm about to come at you hard. I'd be like assassin. You know what I mean? But if I'm able to take some space, ruminate, I can really make a decision based on how I really feel and not on how my triggered feelings are, like, taking over me. So I was like, unless I can do that shit with you, or rather, if I can do that with you, then that's going to be good. But I'm not going to be going back and forth. If I make a decision, I made a decision. I was like, listen, I'm not going to need rides from you no more. I was like, thank you super much. I appreciate, but not going to need it. Bitch, tell me why, though. for a little bit. I was hustling, trying to do some hair, and it was a situation where I do this person's hair and they're loving it, you know what I mean? I'm charging low prices, right? I'm like, for children, individuals, charging like $60, thinking people realize that hair braiding costs like $200 to $250, and that's just the service. That's not including your hair. So when you have me go to the hair store to pick out hair, when you have me doing your hair for like 12 hours, when you have me fucking going OD with the, you know what I mean, just making it, sealing it perfect, doing like a rose hip oil fucking massage at the root, when that is happening, I'm thinking, you know, I'm charging you $60. I'm gonna get $100 at least. I'm gonna get a tip at least. You know what I mean? But people want to play games and want to act like they don't understand what a hookup is and want to just, you know. And it's just one of those things that happened to me too many times, where people was just like, only one person ever fucking tipped me. Oh, like not even very reasonably, but enough for me not to talk shit. But it's like, for the most part, it's like I'm charging people under $100 to get their fucking hair done, and they can't even meet me with $100. And it's like, you know, and I'm just like, I'm too vocal. I'm too woke to be getting exploited like that. So I'm like, look, I hope you enjoyed your hair. I will not be working with you again, because it's a situation where it's like, I know this ain't your first time getting your hair done, boo-boo. And I know you wouldn't treat nobody at no fucking salon like this. So for me to, like, be giving you the top flight, because depending on what the vibe is, you know what I mean, when it's kids and shit, it's like, where we got some fresh juice, we got some food in the house, whatever. But if it's like adults, we smoking, I'm like, word, I'm rolling up, you're smoking with me, you know what I mean? I'm over here, like, giving you hospitality realness. I made this bitch fresh fucking juice, bitch. What the fuck? It's like, if you can't tip people for doing a service, then you really don't deserve to have that service done for you. And that's just how I feel. And since I'm independent and I ain't got no boss, I can say that shit and I can do that shit. But it's hard because, like, I think it's something that, like, my girlfriend, like, got me, like, on, because it's like, she do makeup, but she's like, I don't need to be in every bitch face. Like, if you got a fucked up attitude, I'm not going to be putting myself in that situation. And I think that's what took me so long to find a new job in ways, is because perhaps, like, 2 jobs got back at me, and one of the jobs, it was a job I had before that I really didn't like, and that made me really fucking depressed, and that just, like, just had me with so much anxiety, a lot of sexual harassment. So I was just like, I don't want to be doing this job. And then the other job that I was working for, like, the first day I was working, people said some racist ass shit. People was on some just on some weird shit. It was a weird ass job, and it was an outdoor job too. And it was like, bitch, I don't feel like I'm gonna survive it. Like, I don't think I'm gonna survive it, because it's like, it was just too much. And then the gag was this: I'm over here trying to decide whether or not I could survive this job, and then these niggas stop giving me hours, and want to tell me that I can't get my first paycheck, so I'll give them their fucking shirt back. Like, bitches, I'm fired or not? Like, what? So here we are to this job, you know, and I'm skipping so much shit. Like, basically that last living situation where I was living with Jody and Maya, it was dope. We're having a lot of healing spaces and shit, but our neighbors were our landlords. They were very anti-gay, and I met Sydney in February. I moved into this place end of December, beginning of January, and so when I met Sydney, we met very quickly. We went on a date to Harrah's Casino, and pretty much the rest is history, honestly. Like, this bitch was over my house every goddamn day, and I loved it. I still do. But it was a situation where, like, I was feeling like, you know, I couldn't have had this experience with her 5 months ago, you feel me? Because, like, I was just not in the space. I was too busy going hard for somebody that wasn't really giving a fuck about me or their fucking selves. So it was like, I was holding down other people's households and shit like that, and I was finally in a space where people are holding me down. People are like, you know what, if you need some help, let us know. And I'm over here just feeling like I'm thriving, living a good life. And of course, the evil eye of jealousy should fucking appear. My neighbors was not really feeling me and Sydney. Like, we would just be living our lives, living our gay little life, and they would hate that shit. Like, they just had a lot of fucking shade to throw and cast. And then literally, I met her in February, right? Like, we met the first week of February. We were dating by the end of the second week of February. But the gag is, the first week of March, like the 4th, I get a fucking message of Eviction talking about I have an illegal tenant in my house or some shit like that, and the last person on the lease needs to move out. And then I start thinking about it, and I'm like, I never even signed a lease. What the fuck is going on? And then I find out that one of my roommates is my landlord. So it was a whole bunch of hierarchical fuckery, chain of command type bullshit, where the landlord was telling my roommate, we were all living on this side of the shotgun. They were like, y'all got to kick that person out, or y'all all got to leave. Like, that's what it came down to. And so we negotiated it to like the middle of April, because it was like, bitch, we just got all these coins together to pay you for fucking March. And now you're telling me by April I gotta be out? Like, okay, queen, like, give me a half a month. So in that time frame, my roommates was like, bitch, we can't live here, because like they're queer, you know what I mean, they're queer, they're trans, they're out here living identities too, like, you know, that are similar to mine and overlap with mine. So it's a situation where folks were like, you know what, bitch, like, solidarity. So niggas started trying to figure out where they was about to be living at and shit, and it really did fuck people up, honestly, because we were just having such a bomb ass house. Like, our house was like important. Like, our house was important as fuck. And so it was a situation where when we were getting evicted, I felt like shit. I felt terrible. I felt like I just felt fucked up, honestly. Like, I just felt like, why? Like, I just did not understand it. But anyways, so at that moment, like, me and Sydney, like, it's March 1st. We met the first week of March. Like, we barely know each other. And we're like, you know, like, I like you. And, like, she's like, I like you too. And, like, I'm like, I'm not even on some shit where, like, I'm trying to live with you. Like, I'm trying to figure this out on my own. And she was just like, bitch, you're living with me. Like, I got you evicted. And the reality is, I don't think she got me evicted. I think the landlords always didn't like me. That's why I never was able to sign a lease, because I think they were always holding space to evict me. They evicted other folks in the fourplex anyways, and they were just really shady and rude. So it was only a matter of time, honestly, because I was just living life too lavish. You know what I mean? I was on the veranda just smoking, enjoying the essence, the ambiance. And I feel like nobody like a young hot nigga. Like, nobody likes that shit. Nobody likes a young hot slick nigga just living, nigga. Like, nobody likes that shit. People was just like hating, looking, just like, yeah, mad. And like, it sucked, but at the same time, it was like the nicest place I ever lived in my life, bitch. I was like so mad. I was devastated, high key, because I was like, people would steal this from folks. Like, people would not let folks be able to have like a nice ass spot. You know what I mean? If we would have had like bigger parties, it would have been crazy. But like, we had good parties at the house, but it was like, damn, if we really went in, would have been something. But getting up to where we are now, I'm working at a bike. Nope, that was the last job. That didn't have no hours for me. I'm working at a hat shop right now. It's kind of amazing, honestly. I'm a big-headed ass bitch. As you can see, like, look at all this hair. It's like, how many hats fit me? I try to find out. But as it stands right now, I haven't really been on my hat game, because I don't know. I'm just waiting for these new Bailey's hats to come in, because there are a couple hats in the shop that I'm like, let me find out y'all got a double XL in a hat. You know what I mean? Because they really do, bitch. You got to special order it. But I was told by one of my superiors that if I see some shit I like, and they about to order from the company, that I could, like, you know, ask to get some shit ordered for me, and then just pay for it when it gets to the shop or whatever. And I'm kind of like, let me find out. You know what I mean? Because that's what I would really love. But I really do like the hat shop. Somebody asked me, like, does it seem like it's a good place, like, so far? Like, does it seem like, you know, like, are they treating you well? And I think in ways, like, when I first went in to do my interview, I was worried, because honestly, like, it's been a rough couple of months, y'all. It's been rough. Like, I've been just going through brokenness and just, like, trying to find a job and shit like that. Like, the last steady job that I had, the one that I got when I first moved out here, turned out to be some OD racist shit. And then, like, honestly, even after I left, I was hearing so much racist shit. Like, a bunch of people quit after I got fired, because they found out what happened to me. It was a situation where during, like, things popping off in Baltimore, I was, like, being very vocal about where folks could go for aid and shit like that. And I have some friends on my Facebook that are from Baltimore, so I was obviously just pushing the information upwards. Like, I was just on some shit where it's like, why the fuck do people even listen to me? It's like they like to hear when I talk or whatever. Well, hear this, you know what I mean? Here, listen to this. I was just trying to kind of, without making videos, because I wasn't really feeling like energetically in the space to do that shit. But I was trying to pass along information as much as I could, and I got a call like in the middle of the night from a blocked number talking about don't come into your shift, like you have alienated yourself from like the job and all this shit, and all this like really like honestly some white supremacist like secret society ass like conversation where folks were just like obviously reporting on what the fuck I was posting, and I'm like, how can y'all even see my shit? Come to find out, somebody who I thought was cool was going back with all my information to the boss talking about I'm a racist and shit, and I'm sitting here like, so obviously the next day I'm like, can y'all please boost this shit? Like, niggas out here getting fucking fired. Like, and I was able to raise up enough money to like make it through that month, but it was a crazy month because I was just like, yo, like, I just got fired over the phone, and like trauma like is real. Like, I have been displaced so many times and like had to like change my shit so many times that like I don't really understand what's happening until it affects me in a really crazy way. So it's like, I'm over here like, okay, well, I don't have a job right now. Like, I'm just going to go apply for jobs. And nobody was hiring me. Nobody was calling me. Nobody was emailing me back. It was just seemingly like nothing going on in terms of me finding a job. And I find, like, and I'm not trying to be fucked up, but it's like, I wanted to have a job where I could, like, have longevity. So I'm, like, looking at places where it's like low energy, I'm able to just do a bunch of shit from one space and able to just produce or whatever the fuck. And so then I started lowering my expectations of what the fuck kind of job I was about to get. I'm like, let me get this fucking application for McDonald's, bitch, because they talking about $9 an hour, competitive fucking wages. Like, honestly, I was getting $9 an hour in Denver and I was living okay. So I'm like, I should be able to live pretty good out here off that wage. But bitch, McDonald's wasn't hiring either. Nobody was hiring. And that's the thing. Unless it's a turnover where like somebody just got fired or some shit, most of the hiring for this season is done in like May, June, before people are graduating and leaving the city, you feel? So you need to have your resume on point by April and out there and hitting up the jobs just to kind of get ahead of all of it, especially out here because the way it is set up to be a tourist-ass city, you want to be in a job where you're going to get high traffic or else you're probably not going to make no money. Like, the more low traffic the job, the less money that you're going to make. So you work over in the Bywater and you working at this little shitty cafe, you're not going to make no money. But if you're working in the Bywater at like a little gentrified-ass, little fake bistro-ass place, you're going to make some good coins. So, depending on where you're at. So, at the job I was at, I was not making some good money because I was working at a little piece of shit-ass pizza place, and people don't tip. People don't fucking tip. And it was fresh pizza, bitch. I made the dough. I made everything. And it was just, like, really annoying the fuck out of me to see people, like, just not even give a fuck about the fact that I'm over here throwing the dough, you know what I mean? Fieri, you know what I mean? Hot in the kitchen out here. But, old life. So, my new job, though, I'm working at this hat shop, and it's, like, expensive-ass hats and shit. And it's, like, I'm, like, so poor that, like, when people spend a lot of money around me, I be getting, like, I get anxiety and shit. I be like, whew, Lord, that was a lot of coin. Lord, you know what I mean? So at my job, I have to, like, curtail that because it's, like, a lot of rich-ass folk or just vacation-ass white people who are, you know, they got money to blow and they trying to blow it on all types of New Orleans-ass shit or shit that seems New Orleans to them. You know what I mean? A lot of fedoras I sell. I can't lie. I sell a lot of fedoras. But some of them look cute, honestly. Like, my favorite thing is when, like, black men pop up in the shop and they're like, oh, I got locks. Like, I never was able to find a hat for my head. I was like, bitch, we gonna hook you up. Because we got XXLs and shit hats up in there. So it's like, honestly, and we have a hat stretcher. So it's like, we got a lot of things that you can use to get ahead in terms of your hat game. But, you ever have a burp? You're just like warming. Anyways, it's neither here nor there. But what I was trying to say was I try to curtail my broke assness when I'm in the shop, because it's like these folks don't want to know that I'm broke. They want to think that I'm as rich as I'm looking, because I be trying to look rich, you know what I mean? I'm currently trying to like figure out like how to like come up with some like rich ass like high femme drag, like just some fucking, you know, I'm that bitch, I will hook you up, like you will have the most sickening hat of life, like realness. Like I'm trying to just pop that shit out. And I'm trying to just kind of give myself a new style. I'm trying to like do a makeover for myself. Right now I'm in the middle of like trying to figure out what my look is going to be for this shop, because like right now I'm going for a very like natural but dewy look, you know what I mean? Like right now I'm just going for like natural brows, some gold on my lids, mascara, definitely contour, a little bit of blush, and a bold lip. Like that's what I'm going for. Sometimes I do a cat eye, but honestly, if I'm rushing to work, I think it's best at this point, I'm learning, to do my cat eye when I get to the shop, because girl, like that commute, like it's like I just need to take one streetcar down like Canal, but the gag is the streetcar goes dumb slow when I need to go dumb fast. Like I'm like and I ended up like I was doing the most, honestly. Like yesterday was my first day of work, and why the fuck did I fucking take the streetcar all the way down to Charters, start running down Charters, and I was like literally 1 block away from my job, and I didn't realize it because I was just getting scared about being late, because like it was like 2:48. And I was like, yo, I'm trying to be here 5 minutes early. Like, I want them to know I care about this job. You know what I mean? And so, and my reputation so far, like, for my training, all my shit, I've been early. My interview, bitch, I was early, because I want to see this shit. I want to see how you operate. You know what I mean? I want them to know realness. Okay, I'm here to stay. But yeah, so I was like 5 minutes early, but I hopped into a cab, bitch. A block away from my job. I didn't even know I was a block away. I just hopped into a cab. I was like, step on it, 425, and I almost hit the top of the cab like they do in New York, but I was like, let me not, because I did that one time when I was drunk. Didn't work out. Nigga kicked me out the cab for doing that shit. He was like, don't hit my cab, get out. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, son, you never seen a movie? They be hitting it, they be like, step on it. He was like, not feeling me. That nigga just sped off. He was like, bye. But yeah, my first day of work, I was low-key bugging. I was anxious as fuck because I had never closed before, and I just didn't want to fuck it up. Like, I wanted to make sure everything was perfect, because unfortunately, like, I found out that I'm one of those people that got hired to replace somebody, and I had to meet the person I'm replacing, and they were actually super nice, but they honestly did piss me off, because I called them at the end of my shift trying to, like, ask a question, and they act like they didn't want to answer, even though they told me I could call them, and I did call them earlier, so I was kind of just like, girl. But it was 11 o'clock at night, so in ways I kind of feel them. But at the same time, it's like, team player, bitch. Sabotage. So I ended up having to call my superior, and like they were at a bar, but they were like, it's fine. They were like, I got you. So that worked out. But I was trying to say, on my interview, I was able to kind of talk about capitalism in ways, and I was able to kind of like have a moment where I was able to declare that capitalism is bullshit, because my superior was like, capitalism is bullshit, bitch. I feel you. We gotta pay our bills though. And I'm like, really, we do? Like, that's the thing. It's like cognitive dissonance. Like, we know capitalism is bullshit, but we still gotta work within it in ways to kind of get what the fuck we need. And even that sometimes is not true, but I think at this point, when I'm at my responsibilities in life, like what I'm trying to take care of, what I'm trying to do, like I need to make enough money to survive, because I need to like do more than that. So I'm just happy that I have a job where like I'm not only getting paid hourly, I'm getting paid for how much I can actually sell, which is good, because bitch, I could sell salt to a slug, and I could sell honey to a motherfucking bee. But these hats, yo, they're so expensive, bitch. Like, sometimes I just sit back and let them sell themselves, but sometimes I go in there, you know what I mean, and I just be like, yes, you know what I mean, I just be snapping, I be like doing the most, honestly, because I'm just trying to get this coin, And I kill it with the playlist, bitch. That's the other thing. It's like, bitch, the one thing, it's like I cannot work at a job where I can't jam, and I cannot work at a job where I can't fucking wear my own clothes. I can't be wearing no uniform. Y'all do not give a fuck about fat bitches, so y'all can miss me with that. Because every job I had to wear a uniform, it was not fat bitch friendly, and it wasn't poor fat bitch friendly either. Because I see all the time folks be like, do y'all know where I can get some career basics for plus size folks? And they be like wanting $100 for some fucking slacks. And it's like, bitch, I can't afford that. So I'm happy that I'm able to kind of put together my outfits and just look as cute as I want to look and go to the job and not have to worry about nobody breathing over my neck trying to tell me something about how I'm looking or what the fuck the music is. Bitch, if I want to play some Nina Simone in the shop, I will. Bitch, I had Mississippi Goddamn on, bitch. I be getting my liberation in that shop. Like, I feel like that's like what it's about for me. It's like I get to see like dope black folks coming in. I get to tell black folks, come on in, I'll hook you up with a discount. Yes, God. You know what I mean? I love that I got a discount. I love that like I can actually like, you know, afford to shop where I work. I feel like that's kind of awesome. But I think mostly I'm happy about the fact that like I could come home and be like, boo, let's pay these bills and not have to be stressing about the fact that I'm spending my fun money, the money that I'm thinking about, you know, doing my hair with, on trying to just fucking make sure we got some water in this bitch, or make sure we got some fucking lights on this hoe. You know what I mean? Like, it's about to be a whole new experience because but for the most part, since I've been in a relationship with my partner, I've not been able to kind of like take care of shit since I lost my job. So it's been a situation where I feel in ways icky as fuck, because it's like I love my partner and I know they love me and I know they're caring for me out of love, but at the same time it's like being from a family where like you needed to be able to produce at some point, like you needed to get a job soon because we was always broke, and feeling kind of like the love was contingent on how much you were able to produce. It becomes scary to feel like someone loves you even when you don't love what the fuck you're doing or how you're doing. And it was just nice, honestly. It's just nice, but it feels weird. It feels weird, you know, to accept love in an unconditional form, in a form that's not just if I'm in a good mood. It's like if I'm also feeling fucked up, like I still deserve love and I still am able to receive it and feel it. So that's lovely. But it still makes me feel weird because it's like still trying to figure out how to, you know, understand how to deserve love, understanding how to, like, you know, reciprocate and let people know that I love them too in ways that they can understand. So I think that that's a, you know, a learning thing, but I'm just happy that, you know, I'm getting back to being in a better place, and I'm just happy that I'm getting back to, you know, having more stability, because it definitely has affected my ability to create and to work, because there's so many videos I want to make, there's so many things I want to talk about, there's so many things I want to share, but I haven't been feeling in the best of places, and I'm just happy to kind of get back into that upswing. And it sucks that capitalism affects that, but that's the real. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, thanks for checking on me and saying hey, and I appreciate y'all for real. Bye.